Hello and good evening to all of our friends. Welcome to our little vodcast. That is Up Late with Glenn and Chloe. It's a wonderful little spin-off of our Good Movie Monday podcast that you can find streaming every which way, especially from Newsly. Hello, Glenn. How are you?
Great, Chloe. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Bloody brilliant.
I told a lie just then. I'm not. I'm sick as a
No,
dog.
you're not. I was gonna gloss over it, but I'm like, you're kind of not though.
Oh, anybody that listened to Monday's episode of Good Movie Monday will know that I've been hit with COVID, so I'm not that well, but I'm pulling it together for this. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now, imagine being in 2022 and only just getting COVID for the first time. That's you.
Yep.
Are you embarrassed? I've had it twice, all right? And you've
My
had it
wife has had it
once.
twice as well.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm,
Just like
just
to do things a
typically
difficult way.
speaking, I'm just not the type of person to get sick very often. I don't. I get fatigued and I get burnt out, but I don't actually get flu-y, cold, sick, that kind of stuff. But so this one has actually bowled me right over. It's
Hit you
fucked me
like a
up the
freight
ass.
train.
Yeah, that's right.
Bloody COVID. Is that the new strain or something? Like, that sounds horrible.
It's like a massive strap on.
Oh, God.
And I'm strapping.
I've been in bed for days.
Hey, there's so much movie news stuff going
Mhm.
around that it could easily take us to the end of the show. So I'm going to speed through it so it doesn't.
Be as speedy as possible. Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
No, you can start.
Well, I watched a new movie again.
This is incredible. What are you doing?
I'm on a roll. I was also a little bit under the weather this week and I got sent home from work. So I decided to take advantage of no one in my house and sit down and watch a movie that I hadn't seen before. So I didn't replay another movie for comfort. I watched Ready Player One.
Steven Spielberg.
Yes, which I didn't realize
Yeah.
until almost the end when like the music kind of changed a little bit. I'm like, this is so Spielbergian. And then I IMDb'd it, obviously. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, fucking yes. Pretty good movie, I must say.
It's a really good it is a really good movie. It's a movie that I've seen maybe 3 or 4 times.
Mm,
It gets harder to watch as time goes on. So the first viewing
okay.
is really good because it's a pop culture extravaganza where it's like Where's Wally? You're just trying to find all these pop culture,
Yeah.
right? You got the DeLorean and you got Freddy Krueger's in there and
Yeah, saw
Chucky's in
that.
there. Like it's
Yep.
every intellectual property that the studio has. They've just whacked it all into this, right? Which is fantastic. But when you strip all that what's the word for it? That don't even see my brain's frazzled because of fucking sickness. But
First time viewing, you
you
mean?
take the novelty of that treasure
Right.
hunt, right? The Easter egg hunt away from it, and I just think there's not much story left to be had, and I don't think the performances are particularly good. And this is coming from a Spielberg aficionado, if you will. Uh, yeah, it's a strange film that each time I watch it, I feel less inclined to go back to it.
Yeah, I can actually see that as well. As much as I did enjoy it the first time, I think it gave a lot of punch the first time.
Yeah, totally.
I kind of I don't know if you're just becoming a bad influence on me, but I think it went for too long. I
Yeah,
honestly think there was a lot of stuff in there that didn't need to be in there and it kind of dragged a little bit. And it kind of ended up being like a completely different movie from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. I
yeah,
feel like there
totally.
were two different sort of entities
Yes.
from what it started and when it finished. So that was kind of a little bit confusing for me. And I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have because of
Mm.
that reason.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not to say I hate the film because I really like the film. It's not the Spielberg film I would go back to in a hurry. But Mark Rylance is very good in it. Ben Mendelsohn's pretty good in it, and is it Tyler Sheridan? He's fantastic in it.
Yeah.
And the whole Shining sequence is amazing when they go into the Shining.
So good.
Yeah, like the recreation
So
is
good.
just the best. And I think in the original book, it's a different horror movie they go into. I can't remember, but Spielberg, with his affinity for Kubrick and his love of The Shining, switched it around to make it The Shining, and it was probably easy because the studio had the rights to it, so it just worked. And it's
Yeah.
such a delicious part of the film. Like, it really is. When we were at the cinemas watching it, everyone was like, "Holy shit, we're fucking in The Shining!" Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, that part was really cool. I did quite enjoy that. And it kind of what have I watched recently that kind of takes on this kind of genre type thing? I don't know, but it felt kind of familiar at the same time as
Yeah,
well. I don't know why.
yeah. There was something
You
I
know?
watched recently. Can't think of it, but I remember going, "That's Ready Player One."
Yeah. I don't know
Well,
what it is.
no, neither do I. If I can think of it before this goes
Yeah.
live, I'll put it across the screen. If you don't see it across the screen right now, then I can't fucking
We've
remember.
still not thought
That's right.
about what it is. TikTok will help us out because they'll know exactly what we're talking about. But
Yeah,
yeah, so that was a
good
really
one.
interesting one. Yeah.
Whereas my comfort movie today was Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Kind of felt like a little bit of a Tarantino binge lately. So, and my Tarantino comfort food is the first three
Mm-hmm.
movies, just the first two particularly. And so yeah, just to put Pulp Fiction on. And like, I thought I'd have it on in the background and just be able to be sick and scroll my phone and just have that comfort in the background, but I was glued to it the whole time. And
Yeah,
yeah, it is his perfect film. It is like, if all the films he's ever done, that's his best. I don't think he'll ever beat it, and it's just a masterpiece.
it is. You're
Yeah,
right, and that's a good comfort movie to put on. That's a
such an easy watch. It is such an
mad
easy watch.
respect.
Such an easy watch, and everything about it's fantastic. Hey, speaking of Spielberg, even though I interrupted with Tarantino, he's just announced that he's making a new Bullet movie with Bradley Cooper.
A Bullet movie.
So the movie Bullet with Steve McQueen is a very famous movie from the
Oh, okay.
70s, I want to say. Yeah, 70s. And that's a fantastic movie, but Spielberg's doing a new one, and I believe they haven't given us much on it, but it's not a remake. It is a new movie with
Oh.
the character. So
Oh, okay.
so
Cool.
probably not even a sequel, just they're taking the character from Bullet, giving him a new story, and
Yep.
which is exciting to me because it kind of, you could say yes, it's a sequel, but you could also just say it's a standalone film with the same character, which is what James Bond does. Every single movie is a new story with
Right.
the same character, so that's exciting. I kind of was getting a little bit tired of Spielberg going down the not so much the remake road, but the easy road. I think he was, to do
Yeah.
West Side Story. It's like, I was not interested in him redoing that, and you know, anyway, this is good. This is good
Well,
news.
that's fair enough. And did you say Bradley Cooper?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can get behind that.
yeah.
Mm.
And what else did I read? That the guys behind the movie Ready or Not and the new Scream, which was Scream 5,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing a new Escape from New York movie. All right, which the only new Escape from New York movie I want to see is a part 3, an official part 3. But this one is apparently a reboot, but Wyatt Russell, who's Kurt Russell's son,
Mm-hmm.
is taking the lead of Snake Plissken. So that's completely plausible, right? Because he looks like his dad, particularly if he's dressed up as Snake Plissken, he would pull the character off very well. But I would like it just to be a new sequel. Like, why reboot something that everybody loves and holds in such high regard? It's the same old argument. Don't do it.
I know. I'm with you. I have no idea what this movie is. I don't think I've ever seen it. But I'm with you in that respect.
So
We have the same opinion on that.
in that era when John Carpenter was making the best fucking movies on the planet, right? This is around about the same time he did Big Trouble in Little China.
Mm-hmm.
And Escape from New York was the movie with Kurt Russell playing a prisoner who is like practically on death row, but he's given the opportunity of freedom if he would go onto Manhattan, which the island of Manhattan, it's a futuristic movie. It's been turned into a high security prison. So every prisoner from the entire country gets pretty much lumped into Manhattan. And once they're in there, they can do what they want. It is still a city that they can occupy. It's
Right.
just maximum security. You can't get off it, right? So that means it's full of violence, murder, rape, all that stuff happens in the city. And if you're a prisoner in there, you just got to survive it. But
Wow.
they send him in there because the president's plane crashes in Manhattan, and he's got, I think, 12 hours to get the president out. And if he doesn't succeed, then he explodes because he's got a device on him.
Oh my God.
And it's a classic movie. It is it's right up your alley. It's a very Chloe movie,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
particularly when you see what it looks like. It's such an 80s movie. And then there was a sequel to it called Escape from LA, which was a very similar premise, but an earthquake had separated Los Angeles from the mainland, and Snake has to go into that. And that movie wasn't as highly regarded, but over time it's built up a massive cult status. And they'd always teased us with a third film that John Carpenter was going to do Escape from Earth, and Pliskin was going to leave the planet, which would have been incredible. And it just never happened. But they keep talking about rebooting. It's like,
oh yeah, no, just carry on with the story rather
yeah,
than
totally.
yeah,
If you feel that Kurt Russell's too old for a new story, that's fine. Use his son, continue the story with the same character, and just has his son as the character. But anyway,
I've written that down because that does sound like a very Chloe movie, and I'm excited to
anybody that's watching
watch that.
Number one fan Owen will be watching this going, what the fuck, Chloe? What
I know.
the fuck?
Owen probably smacks his head up against a brick wall with some of the shit that I come out with, honestly.
It is such a great film. I just can't speak highly enough of it. And what else we got there? We don't have to talk about the Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean. That's been cancelled, thank God.
I saw that. Should we talk about how they want the new Fast and the Furious dead-ass movie to be the most expensive movie ever made?
Not surprising. Like, it's unnecessary, but not surprising.
$340 million. Stupid. It's stupid. Why?
Well,
Why on a Fast and Furious movie?
Because
no.
Because it's guaranteed to make its money back like that.
I know, but it's stupid. Anyway, that's my opinion.
Smart business for the studio, probably, but it's certainly not. It's not contributing to any groundbreaking, creativity, all that kind of stuff. It's unnecessary.
It's dumb.
It is dumb. That series is dumb. The last movie they drove a car in space, so
Yeah, dumb. It's all dumb. The first one is the only good one, and I'm going to stick to that opinion forever.
Okay. No, fair enough. I don't think they're particularly good movies, but I can tell you what, they are some of the most fun cinema experiences I've had in a long time. And it's when you're
no, you do have that opinion.
When you're on board with like the far-fetched, craziness of it, it's so much fun. And the Hobbs and Shaw movie was fantastic. Anyway.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, I also watched the new trailer for Christmas with the Campbells.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. It doesn't look great. It looks like another Hallmark Christmas movie, but I will be going to see it.
But it is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. I don't like Hallmark movies. I'm not a fan of the corn.
And you've not been listening to the Good Movie Monday podcast for a little while, I guess.
I haven't listened.
I know, I can tell now. Because
for a few weeks, maybe.
Ben and I are pitching a new podcast to the distributor to do a Hallmark podcast.
Oh God!
So you won't be guesting on that one.
I mean, I will for the Christmas and the Campbells because I'll be biased. Anyway,
no, we're hoping to do a Hallmark podcast and talk about all those like Garden Mystery murders and the Aurora fucking, I don't know, Teapot Flower Society murders, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Mysteries. Ben and I are huge fans of sappy, melodramatic fluff, and it's still a whole show. There's a huge audience for it. But anyway.
Oh, of course. Oh, heaps. It's a massive audience.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Princess Diaries 3. That's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Hathaway said she would come back if the offer was there, which it is. I don't have a problem with that. I love the Princess Diaries.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Blow my kettle, but it's good.
It's not supposed to blow anyone's kettle. It's just a good movie. But we just had a Hallmark conversation, and Princess Diaries is
feisty now, Glenn. Jeez.
Hang on, you're the one that's getting feisty. Princess Diaries is, very Hallmarky. So it makes no wonder that you're not a fan.
I wouldn't call Princess Diaries Hallmarky. I would call Princess Diaries like teen rom-com type.
Well,
deal.
Because that's what it is.
But Hallmark and teen rom-com is different.
You're playing semantics with me now, Chloe.
Yeah, I'm going to. Should we play some games instead?
Oh, okay, sure. No worries. You're keeping an eye on the clock, are you?
Nope.
She just wants to avoid.
I just saw the segue and I took it.
The wrath of Hallmark. Okay. Well, I've got maybe 4 taglines. I've got 3 trivia questions. I've got a bunch of movie opposites. I've got 3 would you rathers, and then a bunch of true or falses.
Ooh, you got true or falses too. Okay, well, I got true or falses or would you rathers. So you can take your pick, whatever you want to do.
You were
Sicky's
supposed to
choice.
you were supposed to say would you rather? Let's go for the true or false. I'm gonna
Sure.
get a pen so I can keep track of your answers when we do mine.
Yep, okay.
Excuse me.
I should do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, let me move my jar of Nutella that I've been eating with a spoon.
I can't taste that at the moment.
I told my kids they weren't allowed to have it anymore, and then I just ate the rest of it.
Yeah, that's what a good parent does.
Mother of the year. Anyway, let's do it. Let's do it.
Have you ever put Cocoa Pops in the bottom of the jar and just eaten the rest of it with the Cocoa Pops, crunchy and smooth?
No, I don't think I've had Cocoa Pops in like 20 years.
Or what about crushed nuts that you'd put on an ice cream, but put that in there?
No, that would just ruin it for me. I just load it on a spoon and I'll eat it like that.
Right.
We had a jar in the house and I put it in the freezer so I would stop just eating it with a spoon. And I just got it out of the freezer and I just scraped the bottom of the bloody thing and ate it anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I'd be cutting the bottom off and just eating it like an icy pole.
yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. You
All
can go
right.
first with these true or falses.
Okay, so normally I have a theme. However, this week I don't have a theme. The theme is random. So
That's a good theme.
there you go. All right. Are we going to put the theoretical clock on?
Yeah, sure.
I imagine like the Mario Kart music, you know, like when it counts down, like the beep, beep. No? Okay. Stop looking at me like that. All right, ready? And go. The Jazz Singer was the first talkie movie.
True.
Bonus points if you know the year.
It's like 1934.
Wrong. The popular Wilson Phillips song "Hold On" was featured in Mean Girls.
Oh, fuck. I'll say true. Not 100%.
David Attenborough played John Hammond, the park owner in Jurassic Park.
False.
Steven Spielberg won his first Oscar for Best Director for Schindler's List.
True.
Kathleen Turner voiced the voice of Jessica Rabbit in Who's Afraid of Roger Rabbit.
That's true.
The Dolphin was the name of Quint's boat in Jaws.
False. It's orca.
Bonus
question.
The Scamp is Charlie Chaplin's most famous reoccurring character.
No, it's the Tramp. Little Tramp.
Danny Elfman wrote the music for Tim Burton's 1989 rendition of Batman.
True.
And stop. You did real good.
Did I?
As in, like, I think you got 7 out of 8.
Cool. Think I know what one I got wrong.
Hang on, let me look. That one is just dead air right now. Dead air.
I'm a Luigi, number 1.
Yeah, you got 7 out of 8.
Pretty good. Is it the second one I got wrong?
Yeah.
What was that again?
The popular Wilson Phillips song "Hold On" was featured in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
So that's actually false. Do you know what movie it features in?
Is it White Chicks?
Nah, Bridesmaids.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, and you got bonus points for the boat. It wasn't called the Dolphin, it was called the Orca. So you do get bonus points for that.
Yeah.
And you get bonus points because you know that it wasn't the Scamp, it was the Tramp.
Well, I do love that that was actually quite lucky, wasn't it? Because earlier on I said that I'm a bit of a Spielberg aficionado and you throw 2 Spielberg ones at me.
Yeah, I was even going to throw a Pulp Fiction one in there earlier too, and I ended up cutting that one. So there you go.
What would that have been?
It was something about John Travolta.
Okay.
I
That's all right.
can't even remember now. But yeah, there you
Pretty
go. Wow, well done. I'm very impressed.
excellent. All right. How many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
Okay.
All right. True or false? The original name for Indiana Jones was Indiana Smith.
Oh, false.
Stephen King wrote Kiss the Girls.
True.
Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas.
False. True.
Kurt.
No, I changed it to true.
Okay. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn have been married for 35 years.
True.
The character of Lewis, Rick Moranis' character from Ghostbusters, was originally offered to John Candy.
False.
The horror movie Phantasm was released in Australia as The Never Dead.
Fucked if I know. False.
In Back to the Future Part 3, Doc Brown is heavily influenced by the work of H.G. Wells.
True.
Alrighty, you got one right.
Oh my god.
But it's the one that you got wrong and changed. So, shall we go through them?
Do we have to?
For the benefit of the people watching.
Oh my
So
god.
the original name for Indiana Jones was Indiana Smith.
That's so boring.
That
had to
is.
be false.
That was
so
that
glad
was
they changed it.
yeah. It took a little bit of convincing for Spielberg and Frank Marshall, I think it was, to twist George Lucas's arm in changing that. Stephen King did not write Kiss the Girls. That was a novel by James Patterson, which was turned into a movie. Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas.
Yeah, well, that's why I said because there's already another Michael Douglas. So then I changed it because I'm like, well, it would have been his stage name.
Yeah, that's right. Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn have not been married for 35 years because they're not married.
Oh, stop it.
There you go.
They've been to. Are they not married? They've been together though.
Yeah, but they're not married. It's a different word, isn't it?
You're horrible.
And yes, the character of Lewis from Ghostbusters was offered to John Candy, and he turned it down because he read the script and didn't understand the humor in it. Didn't think it was a funny movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he would have been perfect too. He would have, I imagine, been exactly like his character from Vacation. Do you remember him on the roller coaster at the end?
Because I was thinking of Rick Moranis in that role, and then I was thinking of him, and I'm just like, I don't know if those would transpose. Yeah. I was having trouble imagining it. So
I definitely think he would have been perfect for it. Because he's played that kind of character before, and I think Rick Moranis kind of played his character with John Candy in mind, like how he imagined he would have played it. Yeah. And then what have we got? So this one's right up your alley. The movie Phantasm was released in Australia as The Never Dead.
Okay.
Now and this is a very, very famous horror franchise. The reason the first one was released here as The Never Dead was because there was a movie here already called Phantasm that was spelt with an F instead of a PH, and it was a sex comedy or a sex drama.
God.
And so they couldn't release Phantasm because there was already a Phantasm, and they chose The Never Dead as a name, which is a good name because it's very similar to Evil Dead. So they're cashing in on that.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Back to the Future Part 3, Doc Brown was not heavily influenced by H.G. Wells. It was Jules Verne.
Okay. H.G. Wells, I don't even know who that is.
Oh, you didn't say that to the world, did you?
Yes. I'm not going to lie.
I just wouldn't have said anything at all.
Did he invent something important?
Like H.G. Wells is H.G. Wells and Jules Verne are two of the greatest science fiction authors of all time. So H.G. Wells wrote The Time Machine, very, very famous book. And Jules Verne was much more of your the fantasy sci-fi like Journey to the Center of the Earth and movies like that and stories like that.
I see. Yes.
Which is it's a funny one because I think the original Back to the Future is heavily influenced by H.G. Wells because of the time travel stuff. Every time travel movie ever made with a time machine owes a debt of gratitude to H.G. Wells.
Right.
Whereas the third movie, they actually throw in a twist, and it's Jules Verne that he loves.
So what I thought your reference was to in that is who was his character's influence, and I thought H.G. Wells might have been the inventor of the refrigerator.
Right. Do you remember him and Clara Clayton fall in love over a mutual love of Jules Verne?
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. All right. That's not what I was thinking whatsoever. So, sorry.
There we go. That was true or false, everybody.
Wow, that was embarrassing. That's what that was.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. You got me with some tricky ones. You pulled a Chloe and you pulled some sneaky ones in there. Didn't you?
Glenn pulling a Chloe is better than Chloe pulling a Glenn.
Well, one would hope.
Alrighty, what are we up to? What do you want to do next?
I have some would you rathers.
All right, I don't
If
think
you
I have
like.
those.
I feel like mine are kind of interesting this week.
I have three.
And not very straightforward.
Go for it.
Okay, well, I'll go first.
Okay.
My first one is would you rather watch musicals and have to perform every song and dance as they happen in the movie at the same time, or watch war movies and feel every bullet that someone takes?
To what extent am I feeling the bullets? As if they're real fucking bullets?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
that's
like squibs. Like you feel it when anyone.
Well, then the war film.
Really?
Well, if they're just squibs, and I can just sort of like, it's not
like it would be uncomfortable, like it would be painful, but
so
not
okay, so maybe
as, like a bullet.
Maybe they were like those little nerve pads you put on there, and they fucking tense your nerves up, like the Jackass guys do.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah, no, probably the musical then.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah. But I mean, I like the idea of a sensory experience watching a war film.
I mean, they're both sensory experiences. You get to partake either way.
Yeah, but I'd rather watch war films and musicals. So
if it felt like a real bullet, would you?
Fuck no, you stupid.
Well, I mean, it would be interesting to get like the experience without having to suffer the consequences.
Well, yeah, okay, but once would be enough, right? Get shot once would be enough. But most war movies, you get shot more than once.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true.
Have there been any war musicals? Surely there have.
Springtime for Hitler?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the only one I can really think of.
Well, what's that musical from?
What's that? Producers?
Oh, yes. She had the answer there. You've redeemed yourself.
I had that one on repeat for a little while.
Excellent. All right,
just listening to the soundtrack the other day.
Would you rather... Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Would you rather free food from Jon Favreau's chef food van, or would you rather free food from the Cafe in Chocolat?
Probably the food van. There's just more of a variety, I feel like. Plus, I really like Jon Favreau.
Yeah, but then Chocolat, like it's like the most delicate, decadent food in the world. Like,
yeah, I'm not one for decadent. I'm more of a food truck gal.
What's that over there? It's a jar of Nutella. I'm not one for decadent at all.
That's not decadent.
Yes, it is.
I'm eating it with a spoon, dude. That's not decadent. That's bogan.
That's the definition of decadent right there.
It's not. I would still choose the food truck, okay? End of story. Still tacos? I like tacos.
Your next one.
Okay. Would you rather in life have a pause button, like a remote with a pause button, or a remote with a rewind button?
It's a tricky question. There's so many little questions to be asked as to what each one would do. I'll say rewind.
One pauses. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, but what are you able to do while it's paused? That's the question.
So you could move. The way I imagine it is that you can move around and do what you want to do.
Move people's arms up and down.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
pause whatever is happening. Go about your day if you want to, but you still have to unpause it at some
Okay,
point.
I'll change my mind. I'll say pause because you can influence your future doing that. Doing that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can influence your future by rewinding. Also,
Yeah. I'll go the pause option because there's shit I don't want to go back to.
yeah, that's fair
Always
enough.
moving
And what
forward.
if you accidentally rewind it too far? And when you rewind it, do you get younger or do you stay the same age?
It's a good question.
It's an interesting one.
Because like you've got the remote, right? And you
Mm.
rewind too far, suddenly your dad smacks you on the bum because you've like taken the remote.
Yeah.
And then
Then
he
you're in
uses the
deep
remote to
shit.
smack you.
Yep. Deep shit.
Yep. So
Or you're back with the dinosaurs and you step on a mosquito and you fucking change the path and then you're the only human on the planet for the rest of the life.
So the remote works beyond the existence of remotes. That's interesting.
Well, theoretically. I haven't tested it out yet.
Oh, that's silly. I like it. Next one.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Okay. An extensive collection of the best and rarest films of all time with a 40-inch television, or no collection whatsoever and a 100-inch television.
So what do you watch on the 100-inch television?
I don't know. You probably got access to streaming services and all that kind of stuff. I'll leave them in the equation. It's a smart TV. But for the sacrifice of screen size and only a 40-inch, you have access to the rarest, best films in the world that the streaming services don't offer.
I'd probably go the 40-inch.
Yes, that's the
I'd
correct
probably go
answer.
the 40-inch. 40 inches is still big.
It's not a
And
bad size.
you'd still get really good sort of
And yeah,
viewing.
that's right. I mean, you consider that, for the entire history of television up until, the 2000s, people were enjoying the best films on small televisions.
Absolutely.
So that's the correct answer. Good
I
one.
was enjoying Goonies and Stand By Me and Dirty Dancing all on a square little thing that took half an hour to warm up when you turned it
Yeah,
on. So,
love that.
It's all about how you view it.
Excellent. Do you have any more would you rathers, or is that it?
I do. I have one more.
Same here. Let's do those and then we can wrap it up.
All right. Mine's a little bit off center. Who's playing you in a movie, Glenn? Is it Danny DeVito or is it Danny Trejo?
Take that as such an insult. Danny DeVito, motherfucker. My wife's going to watch. My wife's going to watch this episode and she'll say she did not just say that, did she? I'm like,
it's more about the Dannys. It's not about who the Dannys are. It's more
not about the fact he's very short and tubby.
No. It's more about which Danny would you prefer? Because Danny Trejo is fucking cool as, and I gave you that option too.
I mean,
maybe I think you're super freaking cool and Mexican.
Well, yeah, except for the fact that I did slip out of a couch naked. So there's that.
Did you really, or are you just making that up? You're gonna leave that ambiguous, are you? All right.
All right. Not. It'd have to be Danny DeVito because I mean, Danny Trejo is not a great actor. He's not a good actor, so
he's all right. He's not bad.
All right, not bad. He's not great. Danny DeVito
is great.
He's a great actor. He can do comedy, he can do drama, and my life is full of both.
Oh my gosh, you are so complicated. What a great answer, Glenn.
That was so sarcastic.
All right, you got one more for me, or was that it?
One more. Would you rather bring back Brittany Murphy or Corey Haim?
Brittany Murphy.
Oh, wrong answer.
Damn. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I watched today a video on YouTube that just resurfaced, and it's her doing a presentation for MTV back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her, hi, I'm Brittany Murphy, and we're going to go into this Blockbuster video store. We're going to pick out movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any opinion you have of her that's in a positive light will be flipped on its head. She is insufferable in this video, and I'm watching it going, what? I can't do anymore. Like, this is fucking embarrassing for her and for me watching it. It's just the worst. It was just the worst. It was, yeah.
I identify with her, and I'll tell you why. You watch her movies and you see she's a bit twitchy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm twitchy. I am you've seen me in these videos. I'm twitchy. I identify with her. I think she's a little bit ditzy. But I think she's cute as a button. She's really lovely. So I identify.
She's 100% ditzy in this video, I can tell you.
Yeah. And that's completely fine. I mean, it may not be for everybody, but I mean, she contributed more to sort of the catalog that I was viewing when I was growing up than Corey Haim did.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was gonna say she was a great scream queen in the movie Cherry Falls. That was a doozy. That was a really good one. So
okay,
it's a slasher movie directed by the Aussie that made Romper Stomper.
There you go. I was thinking more 8 Mile. She was a little bit
Oh, Jesus, that's hilarious that you say that. Ben and I on the podcast, because we pre-recorded 2 episodes, I can't remember if it's the Monday one that just dropped or if it's the next Mondays. Either way, we talk about 8 Mile. And what's it? Or it could have been the video even. And I said, "What do you think about 8 Mile, Ben?" And he goes, "Oh, it'd be good if Brittany Murphy wasn't in it."
Benjamin. Jeez.
I tend to agree. I think it could have been recast, but I'm not going to just say that to spite you. I'm not a fan of hers, but
sure. Mm-hmm.
I'd say the thing that I'm watching this video today and that put me off instantly was she's introducing. She's in a New York street and the camera's there and she's walking towards it in her 90s low cut jeans and all this kind of shit. And she could have just said, "Hi, I'm Brittany Murphy. Let's go into this Blockbuster." She goes, "Hi, I'm Brittany Murphy. Let's go into this Blockbuster." I'm like, fuck me. Like, no joke laid down whatsoever. It's just...
It's just the fake giggle. Yeah, that's a bit cringy. I can see her doing that.
The first thing she does when she's in the video store is a backflip and knocks over a shelf. And she's like, "Oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me." I'm like, yeah.
She backflip?
Yeah.
Is she under the influence?
She was definitely fucked up at the time. You watch this video and there's no way she wasn't like completely off her face.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've taken it way over time. Sorry.
That's okay.
We're good.
I'll forgive you this time, okay?
All right. I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Bye.